We're live, Lorian. How are you? Everything's going well on this Friday morning?
It's going beautifully. Thank you.
Awesome. So, Lorian, thank you so much for taking the time out to educate everyone on healthcare surrogates. Everyone should know about this topic, but whenever I ask people, they have zero clue what I'm talking about when I talk about healthcare surrogates. And it's so cool that it's a topic that involves both of us. Like it's something that is really a part of your practice, part of my agency. So. For the people that don't know about Friendly Fridays is a way for me to help you connect to experts that are out here in our community and teach you stuff that you should have learned in school but did not. So we have here Lorian Johnson. She's an estate planning attorney. Thank you so much, Lorian, for coming with us. So for those of you that don't have the pleasure of knowing Lorian, she is a AV-rated attorney. She's practiced law in Tampa for 19 years. In 2020 and 2021, she was selected for the inclusion of the Florida Super Lawyer List. Only 5% of lawyers in the state are actually included in this list, and she was recognized in 2020 to be in the Florida Trends Florida Legal Elite. So only 1% of the active Florida bar are actually part of this list. So she is amazing. She provides peace of mind for her clients in handling estate planning and probate concerns since 2015. So she has a wealth of knowledge. She actually graduated from the University of Florida 11 College School of Law. Go Gators! And yeah, she's a great part of her community. She volunteers. She's serves as the president of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and she's active in our children's schools and scout organizations. She's also super active in the community. She's a proud member of the South Tampa Chamber, and she is active in our BNI, which is a business networking international. It's a group of entrepreneurs, we're actually looking for a few select amazing individuals that may be a part of our group, but that is a conversation for later. But that's how Lorian and I met. Lorian, we'll get to the meat of things. I know you're super busy and you're not charging me by the hour for this, so I appreciate that. So why don't you tell us what a healthcare surrogate is?
A healthcare surrogate is a form that lets doctors know who you want to address your medical concerns if you're unconscious and make decisions for you.
Okay, so if you're in like a coma, if something crazy happens and you're unconscious.
Just unconscious, yeah. Okay. You don't have to be bad off. Just anytime you're unconscious or not sensible, you want someone to be able to make that medical decision for you.
How about in cases of like addiction and things? How are healthcare surrogates taken into account? If someone maybe is in a mental institution, or maybe someone's declared not able to make their own decisions, are people able to make decisions on their behalf if they're
correct? And normally, if they're deemed incapacitated by the courts, they would a guardian would be appointed, but your healthcare surrogate would often be given preference to serve as that guardian.
Gotcha. Okay. So with the whole COVID craziness happening, we never know what's going to happen. So we want to make sure that we have that paperwork in place. God forbid something, were to happen. Now, right. I know that you mentioned before there's 3 circumstances where you want to make sure you have a healthcare surrogate in place. When are those times?
The first one is when you have a young child that you leave in others' care. You want someone to be authorized to make decisions for your child's medical care until you can get there. For instance, you go out of town, or you are a daycare, whatever is situation might be when someone else is taking care of your child. We definitely want that decision maker in place, your choice as decision maker, until you can come make those decisions. So that's one key. A second key time to have a healthcare surrogate form is when your kids hit 18 and go off to college or go out into the big world. Once they hit 18, you have no right to their medical records. And so if they're sick out of town, if you're trying to call the doctor to find out what's going on, the doctor's not going to tell you unless the kids have gone out of their way to sign a HIPAA release to let you get those documents. So you want to be proactive on that and get them to sign that while they're still in town. The third case where I highly recommend healthcare surrogate documents are when you're in town with no close family members. There's not the doctors don't know who to talk to if something's wrong with you. So you definitely want to designate that person so that you tell the doctors who you want to make those medical decisions. Yeah. When you do prepare a healthcare surrogate, you want to make sure that your physician gets a copy of it. And if you know what hospital you'd be going to, that's something you can often file with them in advance.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty easy because there's one big hospital usually close to us
right.
that we would probably go to. But yeah, I know you can't really share like specific circumstances and also people don't really update you on like what's going on with their health, you being an estate planning attorney. But there, with it being that there's multiple households now, there might be a person that has shared custody of a child, and sometimes the parent may live in another state or whatever. It's so important to have your documentation in line before you actually need it, because I know of a lot of people that have had kind of crazy circumstances happen. A friend of our family's, he was just boating with his friends, and he fell, he hit his head on a rock, and then he like was in a coma. And so his girlfriend, they weren't married, he was going to propose to her, and then she had a child. If he had wanted her to make the decisions instead of his parents, or instead of whoever it was, then we're happy that they had a great relationship and that they were a family. But who knows if he was estranged from his parents and wanted his partner, that life partner, to make that decision. They weren't married, so who would have made the decision on whether to keep him alive or not keep him alive, or who would have known what he would have wanted is the question.
Right.
So I get like,
I'm sorry, the law would default to his parents.
Yeah, and I get little tingly
relationship.
Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking like, I'm so happy that I have, my parents that know exactly what I want. I have a good relationship with them and all that. But that aside, too, those are weird conversations to have, and yes, my thoughts also may go against what they traditionally would want. So my parents would want to keep me alive no matter what, right? I myself would, right as it stands right now today, 2021, I would not want to be kept alive if I was deemed a vegetable, right? They're super in the faith and want to, they want to say, oh, well, if God lets you go, then God lets you go, but we're going to do everything to keep you alive, right? Yeah. I wouldn't want to place that burden on them of them, using up all my estate to pay to keep me alive. I would rather them have the money to do, to do what they can with that, and have a better life, because it's unfortunately not, they're going to be sad for a while because I'm gone. Right. So these are like weird conversations to have, like, so putting these things in place are super important to help in these circumstances.
Right. Yeah. And those end of life issues, you would want to have a living will, which is a separate document. There's a Florida form that says you have to indicate who would make that decision. And then I have a form as well that you can just, it's just your directions to the doctor. So it would be you telling the doctor, please, if there's absolutely nothing you can do, let me go. And in your case, for instance, you definitely want to have that kind of form so that your parents didn't get overwhelmed and make the decision that you wouldn't make.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, it's so super important, but we all, we all put things off, right?
Yes.
So, guys, with this whole COVID craziness happening, we've all had, things happen in our life in 2020. Let's move forward and make sure that we have our documents in place just for your own peace of mind and the peace of mind of your friends and family. So make sure that you reach out to Lorian. I'm going to put her information down below in the comments so that you can, reach out if that's okay, Lorian.
That would be great. Happy
Okay.
to assist.
Perfect. So I'll put her information just so you guys have, if you have any questions, you let me know. Oh, I know. I saw a few comments here. Glenn said, "Take me off your list." Okay. But Simon says, "Good work. Awesome." Well, thank you so much, Simon. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Not sure what the confusion is here with Glenn. But thank you so much, Glorian, for your time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Yes, take care.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye-bye.